Now, yes. Hello, Jan. It. Oh, it's great. I'm now you're on Globe Clock. I'm so excited to have you on here. I've been actually waiting for this for quite a long time. You were actually one of my favorite artists. I have to admit. What? But oh, well, actually, it's so funny because I have another question. Like, my family has been singing, because you know what happened? My mother and I were searching across videos. Somebody sent us this video. It was called Jan Terri Losing You. Um, and we're watching it and we're thinking to myself, oh my god, this is so cool. Like, how did you do it? I mean, the video, of course, it's from 1993. Is that correct? 1993. That's. And I understand because our Tower Records still there, or is it non? Mm-hmm. And I was actually 2000s. And you were also on WGN, and actually, because at first I didn't know what WGN is because I'm in New York State and we don't exactly get. I mean, I was surprised because I actually on one of my cable box, I got rid of the cable box on my other TV. Apparently, we get WGN, a national network. But I also know you're apparently on True TV, and you were on the Daily Show. Is that correct? Marylin Manson. And that must have been very exciting. What? Oh, go ahead, finish. No. Go ahead, finish. I interrupted by mistake.
you, those are Manson's people. And she said that this is Manson's favorite, and Manson likes her, and so, and people in the record industry were there, and booking agents were wondering how the heck I got that gig, because they had bands that would die to open up for him, to be on tour with him. Mm-hmm. So I even did a few gigs with him, so I was like, okay,
And the Daily Show, because I could see they kind of edited out and basically, how did you feel about the whole interview? Did they kind of, because I could tell they kind of edited out a little bit. How did you feel?
What they do is they ask you the same question 3 times, you give them 3 different answers, and then they go somewhere else, and they said, we asked Jan's dad, now she did it somewhere else, and she says, I asked Jan's dad what music video he likes to watch, and then that wasn't what she asked him at the house. She asked my dad, what do you like to watch? And my dad was starting with dementia.
Yeah,
and he liked Wheel of Fortune and Walk with Texas Ranger, but they liked the Walk with Texas Ranger, and they edited it like that. And the same as like, they asked me, my favorite music video or what song I like, and at that time Ricky Martin was performing the Living La Vida Loco, and I screwed up the name of it, and they loved it because I screwed up the name of it.
And they basically showed the video. But to me, because that's kind of mean, though, because they basically said, because I understand, because they kind of, because when you said, where's it written that Frankenstein has to be in a green outfit, they basically made fun of, well, I don't know if you mind me saying it, but speech impediments. They basically poked fun at it and said, no, Witten, well, I don't know, I don't want to offend you in any way, but and I don't think that's very nice that they did that.
I know the Daily Show made fun of it, but then again, it was publicity, and you get out there. That was the only thing.
And it's the deal.
Mancow was not pleased with them. Mancow was having a sister fit who knows John Stewart, and he was having a sister fit about it, especially that they were making fun of my dad. And
that's
Mancow.
It's mean of them to make fun of him.
I used to be on Mancow's show. I used to be on his morning show, and then occasionally he'll hit me on the TV show. But anyways, he was very upset with it. So.
And you know what? And honestly, but you also got to remember, it's the Daily Show. It's a comedy news show. It's not exactly like it's not exactly ABC World News. It's not and it's not TMZ. So they're not gonna. TMZ of course pokes fun at celebrities even more. But it's a Daily Show. It's kind of meant to be funny. It's supposed to be a funny show. But I understand if you're funny, because some of the things, because I think what they were doing, because I was showing my aunt the video, the Daily Show interview, and she said it was mean, and we agreed, because they basically, because it might have had maybe if you had a hard time what they were hearing, and maybe if you had a hard time understanding what was going on, because you don't right now, because they basically asked you the same question 3 times.
They came out with a film clip, and they shot me for 2 days, so
But it's a comedy show. Are you happy? You were happy you were on the show?
Not the way I looked and stuff like that, so I'm not, I get very critical of myself, so.
And don't be critical of yourself. I think you're actually a great person. I think you're very fun. I think you're very funny. But speaking of funny, there's another interview you were on, and that was, what was it called? It was a show where they were basically asking you about sexual questions.
Oh, that's, radio show in New York or something like that. Yeah, it was kind of just enjoyed it when I went to see it, and people that seen it wasn't too pleased with it, so we didn't really promote it too much.
Because apparently the person who was interviewing her, they always show those ugly shots of people, like the person who's supposed to be the main interviewer, obviously a transgender person, but.
Is that what she is?
She seems transgender, because I'm listening to her on the thing. It sounds like a man, and apparently.
She smokes. She says she smokes as we spoke. She says she's a woman, but a man pretending to be a woman. I don't know. So.
And she
I only talked to her on the phone, and she's on my Facebook, and she just she'll comment on my Facebook, but that's about it.
And she, you know what she did? Like they basically, because they were, but you know what they were kind of doing, and I kind of noticed, like because like the Daily Show, they were kind of poking fun a little bit. But yeah, does she like your music? Like really?
Yeah, and the same as like Hot Package. Hot Package is a comedy, and
that one was creepy.
For season 2, for season 2 they made a mockery of TMZ. So I'm part of the TMZ section.
But I basically recorded it for my grandmother, which I'll tell you later on in the interview all about my grandmother. You got to hear about it. She but we were watching it and I recorded it to show her. It was a little disturbing though, because it looked like, because you know they basically had you and another singer basically singing at the same time at the end. It was a little disturbing because it looked like they were kind of doing it like against your will. I have no idea. Maybe that's just me, but it seemed a little disturbing though, the whole thing.
The Hot Package. What they did is, mind you, we were doing the show, and then they had to go back, and I did that. I shot that in 2011, and then they had to go back, and he had to go. He had to talk to the people for MTV and those people, and get it approved, and then they had to go and edit it. So it was making up like who gets the votes, who gets it. And mind you, they asked me because he liked my music video, and he thinks I fun. And then here in California is where they do the shooting, and they asked, the producer people asked me if I could come for a one-day shoot, and I said sure. So Denny and I drive to LA, or in North Hollywood, not too far from Burbank, and the one-day shot became a 3-day shoot. So I'm like, fine. So I got paid 3 days for working, you know.
And I understand because they were basically having you singing over. But yet again, I mean, that's pretty cool. You're on TV and you're going to be on again on the same show.
Yeah, for season 2. So, I mean, that's pretty good that I got on season 2. And then Cameron Crowe, who's a real well producer, director guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know who Cameron Crowe is? He did, I'm trying to think of his movies.
I don't know.
So, okay, well, Cameron Crowe is a well-known producer, director. He came across a few of my videos, and the one video he used, because I had to sign the papers for it and everything, it's going to be in his upcoming, the movie's coming out in May. He's using Excuse My Christmas.
Excuse My Christmas. And you know what was funny? What does "Excuse My Christmas" mean? Like because I noticed like the lyrics, like was it meant to be funny or something? Because I noticed "Excuse My Christmas." It just sounds kind of really. I thought it was a cute song. I have to say, especially the part where they have the animation.
Okay. You're in New York. Where are you?
I'm in a little small town that's dying called Messina, New York. It's New York State.
Okay. The people that will only understand the song is if you're from New York or Philadelphia. What it was is 2 girls that are fans asked me to do me a favor, and they wrote 2 pages of lyrics, and they wanted me to put the song together. It was a Christmas gift for their friend Mike Cotino, and Guy Barrow asked me if I was working on anything, because he wanted me like you on your podcast. He wanted me on his cable show, and I said to him, I'm doing this. So he booked studio time. So I came, and his partner Andy plays instruments. I only play drums, and so the song. We had 3 hours to write the song, record it and mix it. So we mixed it in with 3 hours. But the only thing is, all the lyrics of that song, I couldn't sing it because it would be for somebody like Barbra Streisand or Celine Dion. Mariah Carey, because it had too many words in it, and it was too lengthy. So we did a lot of hacking and chopping, and made it simple. Tried to make it simple, and tried to get everything down that she wanted. And then guy booked the next day a video, studio to shoot the video, and then they did it with the computer graphics.
And the show, I mean, the thing was, the whole thing that made it funny because the computer graphics. And another thing I was kind of laughing at, I died laughing because you didn't really look very enthused. They didn't have you look enthused in the music video, though. They like you weren't smiling in it.
I was sick for the 2 days.
Oh,
I had the flu.
Oh, so that's definitely not a reason to smile.
I'm going through it. Plus, too, it was my first time doing something on a green screen.
So, and that's definitely not a reason to smile, having the flu. So, but either.
So, but what I'm saying, well, anyways, it got Tim and Paolo's attention, and his producer people, sent the paperwork, and I signed it. They cut me a check, and and he wanted to use it, So I'm like, okay.
And you know what? I mean, you sound like you have a pretty exciting life, but I guess that's where you can say you're pressed for time. Is that right?
What? Pressed for time? Now, tomorrow I'm supposed to go to a birthday party.
Oh.
But then I'm not going because, one, you got Joe Bias here in California. You've got the stupid Screen Actors Guild right around LA, and it's like, it's not gonna, I'm not too crazy about doing it,
So you're not going to the birthday party, or are you?
I'm not going to go to the birthday party because Denny's not feeling good.
Oh, Denny.
Denny's got teeth problems, and he gets his teeth taken out Wednesday. So I'm going to stay with my baby.
I'm sorry about that. And you know what? But that's such a coincidence because I actually have a birthday. You're not going to a birthday party, but I have a birthday party I have to go to tomorrow too. It's kind of what a coincidence.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is I live in Lake Elsinore, so I'm about 2 hours away from LA.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, mind you, I didn't want to go with them to dinner and to the bar. They're going to a nightclub. Instead, I would just, like to see if maybe they're like during the week or maybe next weekend if they want to get together and we'll just have lunch. That'd be fun. But I really didn't want to go out there to LA tomorrow.
And but I also saw, because your latest single, Ave Maria, was that recorded? When was that recorded, by the way?
Technically, that was recorded in 2000, and that whole album was really done in 2000. But I just had it mixed and mastered here in California, and then we in the studio funked it up a little bit more, and then the 2 songs got written every day's Valentine's Day and Luck of the Irish. So,
but the songs, I listened to them on Bandcamp, they sound really like, because they sound old. The songs sound like they were previously recorded like in the 80s, 90s, or maybe the early 2000s. But you should, you know what, you've heard of dubstep before, right? Like Calvin Harris.
I don't do anything with Bandcamp. I was with Bandcamp, but this guy in Chicago is wanting the Bandcamp. So any money coming from Bandcamp, I don't get. He's been getting, and I'm having a sissy fit with that. So.
But by the way, before I go on to the next question, I noticed, do you ever put your songs on the radio? Because my dad and I were driving, once, and we heard a song on, like, NPR, The Car Talk. We heard your song, one of your songs on there, or you singing. Have you ever sent it to, like, major stations before? Because there's a website, I think, you basically can send it to actual major airwaves. I mean, the one that actually guarantees you is, like, $2,000. It's a pretty expensive site. But, I was thinking about doing that for myself, but...
Mind you, my songs have been around for a long time, and I tried to do that circuit, but you understand, the record labels had that all sewed up to get the music on the radio stations. I used PR people and stuff like that, and they got me into, like, the smaller stations. But,
NPR.
If they, like, let's see, WGN plays my stuff.
Who plays your stuff?
Yeah, Mancow used to play some of my music. It's hard to get on the radio stations, the major type radio stations. The college stations, it's a little bit easier. They take it, you know.
And they do, because college stations and NPR stations are usually more opted towards independent artists, indie artists. But the thing is, like, when you're coming to a major market, like, say, Z100 or 1027 Kiss FM, they usually use things like pools, and they contact with record labels. They don't want to do that. I mean, actually, our local station, one of our local stations, has their own show on 94.7 Hits FM. It's a station in Chateauguay, but it's in Montreal in Canada. It's targeted towards there, but it's in our area, or in another area, small town. But but they have a section where every night at like 11 o'clock on Monday, they have local artists, which I think if they were in Los Angeles, which I don't know if they do that there, but if you were in a small town, I think maybe you'd be able to do that, but I don't know. But was Ave Maria auto-tuned by any chance?
No, Ave Maria, I sang it in Latin, and then we just, I made it, I learned it when I was 16 years old, and I told my singing teacher I wanted to funky it up, and she told me, like Shakespeare, you can't ruin that fun. So I proved to her that you can't. I made it more like a dancing number, and I put more of a Latin beat to it.
Good for you.
I finally got criticized for it, so.
And you know what? Because the video, I mean, what?
Some people like this, some people don't.
And because the video, was, because you had your own viewing party, and I'll get to that in a moment, but I noticed, because I noticed, like, the video, they had you were playing an angel or something, or maybe, I don't know, but they were wearing they put you...
No, I'm supposed to be Ava, I'm supposed to be Maria.
Yeah. Like, because it has to do with, like, the birth of Jesus Christ, like it...
Remember when Maria died, when the Virgin Mother Mary died, she's helping her son take care of the world, so that's why we were taking care of the sickness and stuff like that. And when people saying, you use the baby black Jesus.
Yeah, I noticed.
Technically, if you look at the people in the Middle East, they're not exactly white.
Mm-hmm.
They're
True.
more of a brown skin, for one. Two, back in Jesus' days, if you ever watched the stuff on the TV, a lot of the guys had beards and mustache, and they had those things that would have had, they looked like little sheets. So, and we were trying to make it like a realistic tattoo. Mind you, I had nothing to do with the costumes. That was the director, and that was my producer friend Darren.
And you'd figure,
they had me in a snuggie, and I was like, and they had me in a snuggie, so.
Yeah, they had you in a snuggie. I just kind of figured it was the director, not you, who actually dressed yourself up, but I think it was the director, I could tell. But the director, because you made the point, because obviously the director had you wear a snuggie, a pink snuggie. But I noticed somebody read a comment, let me see if I can try to find it, like somebody left a comment that you said, we're sorry if it offended you. I mean, I'm guessing this guy was trying to be funny, by saying the comment.
No, the guy was saying that he's from the Middle East, and how you're like racism and stuff like that. And I was trying to tell him, he said that we're making fun of the Middle East. And if you truly look at back in Jesus' time, if you watch those religious shows, majority of the people back in that time, unless I didn't live back in that time, you didn't live back in time, but I don't think too many of them had razors or something to shave off beards and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm guessing that because, of course, things were obviously a lot different back then. But I found the comment, because I probably thought that the guy was trying to be funny. That's what I figured. But, don't mind. That's the house phones. That's, never mind. But either way, the comment is, never quit, Jan Terri. Your powers to transform rifles into flowers and dancing with cha-cha in a snuggie with a terrorist. I'm sorry. Is quite self-explanatory, but I am blown away by the miracle of your birth, yet questionable black child. How that works, we never know. I think that guy was trying to be funny, but I mean, maybe. I mean, you are right.
I know somebody told me that they said, woman, you need Jesus' help. And but you understand, they got it set up because they got it set up that before it can go on air, I'm the one that gets to see it. So they have it set up that somebody has to approve of the comments.
And I know it took place in what?
So some of the negative comments I take off so I'm the one that gets to see all these negative stuff.
And it is your channel, but I also noticed but because it's in a green screen, obviously. But they created the set? But the green screen sets that they put in the background for the green screen are obviously created by them, right?
Well, yeah, he has to that's the deal one, and since I already did the green screen with Guy, I can do the green screen, so.
And now also, we'll go back to Ave Maria in a second, but you